Hi everyone. My name is Pragnya and I'm a third year medical student at UCL. So today I'm just going to be talking to you guys about the recent proposals to change the foundation program allocations for medical graduates. So some of you might be wondering what is the foundation program allocation system? And yeah, so let's go into it. So the UKFPO stands for the UK Foundation Programme Office and manages the operation of the foundation programme in the UK. So this is basically the body that allocates medical graduates to foundation training programmes. And the foundation training programme is basically the 2-year programme that medical graduates do as soon as they finish their medical degree. So that's what Tash will be going into soon. So you might have heard that they're thinking about whether to change the current system of how they allocate to a new system. So the current system is where applicants are ranked based on their foundation program score, which is a combination of their EPM, so educational performance measure, and situational judgment test. So the EPM is based on the decile they were ranked in within their medical school. So for this, they can get 50 points maximum. And then the SJT is an exam that they do in their last year of medical school. And SJT consists of different scenarios that you might be given, you might be in as a junior doctor, and they'll ask you, what will you do in these scenarios? And for this as well, you can get maximum 50 points, and together that determines the rank that you get, and you're ranked across the whole country. So according to your rank, you get allocated your medical school. So that's the current process, and that's what students are currently doing right now. But they're thinking about changing this to a system where everything is computer generated. So it's a random ranking system, and it's done via a computer algorithm through the Oriel system. So in this new process, applicants would still rank their foundation schools in order of preference, and then the process will allocate the students, as many students as possible, to their first preference. So the main reason that they're saying they're doing this is because currently only 73.9% get their first preference, but they're saying that with the new system, it's estimated that 79.5% will get their first choice. So that's the main reasoning. And sorry, could you go to the next slide, please? So as you can imagine, that has caused different people to have a mix of views, and let's look into some of them. So it's unfair on current medical students who've been working really hard to achieve a certain decile throughout their medical school. I know I have friends in other medical schools that have kind of been having exams since first year, which count towards their decile. So for them to kind of now say, you know, all of that doesn't matter, everything will be a computer-based algorithm, that's kind of unfair on them. And some are also saying that it removes the incentive to do well. So if at the end of the day it's a pass-fail degree, would that mean students won't try as hard to do as well as they can in their exams? And it also raises the problem of there's quite a few foundation schools that are popular all the time, and how would that process be fair if it's just a random algorithm? And if some students did better than the others, but they didn't get their first choice because of the algorithm, you know, how's that fair? So those are the issues with the proposed new system. But on the other hand, there are a lot of pros as well. So the new system means that there's less competition between students, and that means less stress. And as you all may know, that medical students are under a lot of stress with all the exams and all the other requirements that they have to take in order to even pass medical school. So that does reduce the competition and decrease the stress. And also the situational judgment test is an exam that is hard to prepare for, and it causes a lot of students a lot of stress and also causes them to lose their work-life balance, which is not great. And as you can probably imagine, that there's a lot of variations between different universities. So you could, for example, get in a lower decile in your uni, but be ranked higher because of the variations between unis. So that also is addressed by the new system. Yeah, next slide, please. And lastly, just talking about why this might be beneficial for widening participation students. So the SJT is actually known to be biased against UK minority ethnic students. for reasons that I will not go into now. So that's definitely something that will be addressed if the SJT is scrapped and everything is made random. And another thing is that people with caring responsibilities or disabilities or financial strains are actually disadvantaged in the current system because they can't perform as well in the exams, despite putting in equal or more work. So that means that less stress and anxiety will be there for these students, and they'll have more of an opportunity to actually focus on medicine and actually enjoying the process without being stressed about the allocation process. So yeah, that's it from me. This is kind of more just an update on how things are going now for medical students. But yeah, you can always look into the BMJ articles, and I know that they've recently done a webinar just yesterday about this. So if you're interested, do Google it and you'll find some more information.